Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our Wellness Wednesday Zoom. It's great to see everybody on here. My name is Lori Ferraro, and I am zooming in from Boise, Idaho. I'm super excited about this evening. I'm excited about who I get to interview tonight. And I just want to say it's going to be a fun night with a lot of information. I want to encourage you to have your favorite drink beside you, whether you're curled up on the couch or in your favorite chair or even in your bed. It's going to be a lot of fun, valuable information. So I'm going to encourage you to not only have your favorite drink, but also have a pen and paper because there's going to be so many things that you're going to want to jot down and you're going to be like, oh my gosh, I had no idea. I didn't realize that. And you're also going to hear several testimonials tonight and you're going to same thing. Oh my goodness. Oh wow, that was fantastic. I'm glad they shared that. Very, very valuable information. So I just, again, want to encourage you to have that pen and paper. Here's the thing. I just know the older I get, the more important healthy living has become to me. The more important I go, oh my goodness, I want to age gracefully. Has anyone ever seen people that they've graduated with and they're like, oh wow, they did not age very gracefully? Because I've seen that and I think, I hope nobody's thinking that about me. And maybe they are, it's like, oh my goodness. And some people I think have aged gracefully, and others I'm like, woo. So I just know the older I get, I want to age as gracefully as I possibly can. I want to feel as good as I possibly can. I want to have the most energy that I possibly can. My husband and Greg and I have been married for 32 years. We have two daughters, we have two son-in-laws, we have three grandsons. And I don't want to be the Mimo who can't move very well or who is complaining and making noises every time she tries to stand up or sit down or she can't run with the grandkids. I don't want that to be me. I want to age as gracefully as possible. I'm sure someday that will happen, but I hope it's way, way in the future. I want to think about proactive wellness versus reactive wellness. A lot of people do the reactive wellness. Oh, something's wrong. Now how am I going to fix it? Well, how about if we try to stop that from happening or lessen the effects of something early on versus after the fact, right? They say that average in North America is people have at least 5 prescription drugs in their medicine cabinet. Average. Some people have more, very few have less. You guys, that's crazy to me. Like, and how about these commercials on TV? Does anyone else laugh at these? I mean, they show this prescription drug and then it's like, well, you're going to have possibly upset stomach, diarrhea, vomiting, nausea. And I'm like, I mean, wow, that sounds fantastic. So you might take care of this and you're going to have 5 other things wrong and they're going to give you another pill or another drug and 5 more things wrong, but it took care of that. And it's like, wow, what a vicious cycle, right? How about we just try our best to have proactive wellness? We do things that are healthy for us, that are, natural products. I mean, that's where I want to be. The older I get, the more I realize, oh my goodness, I don't want to go down that path with big pharma. The more I see, the more I dislike, to be very, very frank. And some of you may feel different. I'm just sharing how I feel. So I'm so excited that I get to interview Doc Brett tonight because he's fantastic. I mean, he is just such a wealth of knowledge. He's become a very, very close friend of mine. I just enjoy him thoroughly. I think he's such a fantastic person. And guess what? In 1984, he became a chiropractor. Now, the 80s, what a fun time, right? 1984. I love it. But now I have to say, Doc Brett was, he was in an ambulance and he was in a very serious accident. He was trying to help somebody. He was in a very serious accident and it hurt him. It hurt him severely and he had to have several surgeries. And I'm just thankful that you're with us, Doc Brett. I'm so thankful you're with us. But due to that accident and things that happened to his body, he took a little shift. And then he became a physician assistant because, sometimes when your body, has some things go on and you have surgeries, it's hard to do some of the chiropractic moves, I would assume. And he became a physician assistant and he's been doing that for many, many years. So he's just a wealth of knowledge in several different directions. And that's why I love hearing from him. I love hearing, the facts that he shares and I love his perspective on different things. You're also going to hear a testimonial on each of the products that are shared tonight. Now, I'm going to tell you, you're going to fall in love with these products. You're going to hear some things and go, oh my gosh, I have to get my hands on that. Well, let me tell you, before you rush off, I want to make sure you guys know you're able to get these products at retail or at wholesale. I would prefer you get them at wholesale. Why pay more if you don't have to? So what you want to do is get with the person who invited you on this Zoom so they can show you how you can get these products at wholesale. And with no further ado, I'm going to introduce the man of the hour that I just respect so much. I'm so thankful he took time out of his day to be on this Zoom with us. And I'm very, very thankful for his friendship. So with that, I want to turn it over to Dr. Brett Rossman.
Thank you very much, Lori, for the introduction. It's always my pleasure. I will just go ahead, as I always do, and make a blanket statement, and that is any of these products that you're going to hear about, we do not make any guarantees, promises, or anything that these products are going to cure, treat, or mitigate any specific disease process. That being said, results may vary from one person to another, but if one person is suffering from something, the chances are there are several others out there that are suffering from the same thing and potentially can see the same results. Like Lori said, the tendency now is to be moving a little bit more into the proactive versus the reactive realm. And if I now take 100 people at random off of the street and I ask them, do you take any form of a supplement, vitamin, what have you? The vast majority of people are going to tell me yes. If I then follow it with the question, do you feel any different taking them? Unfortunately, the majority of them are going to say no. And the reason why they're going to say no is they're not taking a product that is highly absorbed, and therefore they're not absorbing enough of the product in order to make a difference until they have the opportunity to try our products. That being said, I will say that my favorite products, because of the reasons that Lori mentioned, okay, are the Revive, the Eternal, and the Vitalité. Those are my base products. Those have got me back on my feet and feeling more like myself. I'm not going to say by any means that I'm 100% pain free, but when you're living on a scale of 7 to 10 and then going off the scale, living at a 2 or 3 as a baseline, that's to me no pain. So that being said, I'm going to turn it back to you, Lori, to go ahead and introduce our first product, and then I'll take over from there.
Sounds wonderful. Again, thank you so much for being on here tonight, Doc Brett. Our first product that we're going to talk about is our Vitalité. And this is a little box that comes with 30 of these packets. And in each packet, there are 5 supplements that I take each and every morning. And the reason I take them every morning, I'm sure Doc Brett is going to mention, is they give me so much energy. And I don't recommend taking them too late in the day because you may not sleep. They give a lot of energy, which I love. But here's the other thing I love. You can take it on an empty stomach, Doc Brett. That's one of my favorite things. People say, well, there's so many supplements out there. How do I know yours are any different? They're everywhere, Lori. Well, can you take any of them on an empty stomach right away in the morning with a glass of water? No, why not? Well, because I'm going to get sick. I'll feel nauseous. I'll vomit. Not these, you guys. So that's why I love to hand this to someone and say, take this tomorrow morning on an empty stomach. It's wonderful, Doc Brett. And you know, I almost forgot, but also everyone's into these shots, Doc Brett. And I'm not saying, you know, take them or don't take them. I'm just saying a lot of people are into these shots that are increasing their GLP-1. You know, they're taking the Ozempic, the Wegovy, I don't even know all the names of them. this is going to naturally increase our GLP-1. And I wrote it down here by, let's see, we're 340.
345%.
Amazing. So back to you, Doc Brett.
Okay. Now, as I said, the Vitalité is one of my favorite products. And one of the reasons why people are able to take it on an empty stomach is it has both probiotics, prebiotics, and digestive enzymes. So it helps your body break down the ingredients better. This is a whole food product. It is full of trace minerals, 16 amino acids. It's a 10 berry blend, and it has 10 phytonutrients. This also has superfoods rich in chlorophyll, and there is omega 3, 6, 7, and 9, which helps the gut lining and the microbiome. It helps heart, brain, and eye health, and it promotes cellular energy, henceforth getting up and going. Now, all of these products, not only ours, but the general standard out there, is compared to an 8 to 10% absorption rate. Vitalité has a 44% absorption rate, which is almost 4.5 times the standard, which is unbelievable. Like Lori said, this has an increase in the GLP-1 activity of 345%. No injections. This is natural GLP-1. In addition, it affects, like I said, the brain. It has an 840% increase in the BDNF, which is the brain-derived neurotropic factor. So increases brain health and cognition. And Lori, I think you have a phenomenal testimony.
I do. I'm going to turn over to Ray.
Thank you. My name is Ray Kuhn. I'm from Nampa, Idaho, and I've been taking the Vitalité for 60 days now, just a few days over 60. And I tell you what, I have this inner drive. It's the only way I can explain it. I have this inner drive to work out every morning. In the past 60 days, I worked out every day, Monday through Friday, and some Saturdays. Um, I've picked up on Patrick and his burpees. I do 20 burpees every morning, along with my regular workout routine. My hunger in the morning, I no longer am hungry in the morning. I take my Vitalité first thing in the morning. I work out, I go to work, and around lunchtime, I start snacking. My sinuses have cleared up, and it's easier, believe it or not, it's easier to swallow pills. I just realized that this morning, that I'm able to swallow pills easier just because my throat's clear, my sinuses are clear. I can lay down in bed and breathe out of both nostrils. I haven't done that for decades. My balance is improving, and my sugar cravings have just really dropped. And man, this is just the most amazing experience I've had with a supplement ever. So thank you.
Thank you very much for your testimony, Ray. And Lori, I think we can go on to our next great product.
Absolutely. Our next product is collagen. And before we talk a little bit about this, Doc Brett, I did want to mention that outside of, because this is more internal, but we do have an external skincare line that I just briefly want to mention. And that skincare line has a cleanser, it has a toner, it has a serum, and it also has a moisturizer. So this, all of this beautiful skincare line is going to help us look good on the outside, but what's going to help us on the inside? And that's this collagen, Doc Brett, which I love. I love how it's marine based. I love how it's liquid. It tastes good. You just shake it up, drink it down. And collagen is really important beyond hair, skin, and nails. But I'm going to turn it over to you, Doc Brett.
Okay, thank you, Lori. Like Lori said, our collagen is marine based. It is not bovine from beef. It is not powdered. So it is highly absorbed. There's 5 grams of marine collagen, which comes from codfish. Now, it's not just collagen. This is a blend. This is hydrolyzed and micronized. So they're extremely small particles that are very easily absorbed. And this is liposomal delivered collagen, which for layman's terms, it's like taking the collagen, wrapping it in a bubble so that it passes through the GI tract unscathed, and the bubbles are fat soluble. So they attach directly to the cell membranes, open up, and the collagen is released directly into the cells where it's needed. Now, this is a 73% absorption, which is more than 7 times the standard. Now, this has, in addition to the collagen, there is hyaluronic acid for the joints. There's pomegranate juice, which helps stimulate your body's own production. So our collagen is actually taken for 10 days on and 20 days off. And this is to give your body a chance to make its own collagen. If we just continually give artificial collagen to the body has no reason to make its own. So we give it a little bit of a break so that the body can produce its own. Now, this also helps the gut, and this has a 570% increase in that brain-derived neurotropic factor. So we get healthy brain cognition. It also has a 117% increase in the body's energy production, and it supports the human health. And I think we have a testimony.
We sure do. I'm going to turn over to my friend Judy.
Hello, my name is Judy Baggett, and I'm from St. Albert, Alberta. Collagen has actually been a game changer in my and my husband's health. For one thing, for me, it keeps me young. It makes me feel good. I am very, very, very close to 80, and nobody has ever guessed my age. They've always thought I'm at least 10, sometimes a lot younger than that. So I really like the collagen for that, and I do like it for the joints. Just even yesterday, I don't know what was with my arm, but it just was achy all over. And today, there's no ache to it at all. It's absolutely terrific. But for my husband is been in a dementia institution for 4 years now, and I was watching him go downhill. But since I have started giving him this collagen, and it's only been less than a year that I've been doing the collagen for him, because I realized, I thought at first, like, well, at this part of the game, why we have to keep him younger, looking younger, feeling younger. But anyway, since I have noticed that he is more cooperative, he is more coherent, and he is coming up with more words than he has ever come up. Like, I was gone for a whole week, and when I got home on Monday, he grabbed a hold of my arm and he said, "I missed you and I love you." Now, that was just music to my ears. So I won't stop giving him collagen. I will give it to him until there's just none left. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And I will add that the collagen also has biotin in it, which is great for the hair and the nails, as well as the skin. Now, Lori, I guess we can go on into what will be my next product and is one of my favorite.
I know these magic beans are one of your favorites. I like to call them the little magic orange beans. You guys, this is great. This is called Revive, and it's great for inflammation. And boy, oh boy, I have learned that there are so many different types of inflammation. You guys, you know, when we have inflammation in the joints, it's arthritis. Inflammation of the skin is eczema. Inflammation. Anyone ever have where you lay in bed and your brain just runs and runs and you can't shut down? That's a type of inflammation in the brain. I mean, it's crazy. You can have inflammation, you know, in your uterus, you know, when you're having cramps, a monthly cycle. I mean, there's so many things. And I'll tell you what, this is the go-to product. Doc Brett, I did not realize till several months ago now, I would say in the last 6 months, I learned due to all of you medical professionals sharing, I didn't realize how bad ibuprofen and Tylenol were. And I can tell you guys, I took a lot of ibuprofen. And I know it did damage to my gut lining. I know it did. But anyway, I don't take ibuprofen anymore. This. If I have a headache, this. If I have cramps, this. No matter, this is my go-to product. I don't do the ibuprofen and the Tylenol any longer, Doc Brett. I am so thankful for a natural way to take care of so many things. So I'm going to turn it back to you.
Okay, thank you very much, Lori. Like I said, due to my injuries, I had extreme inflammation, and I had been living on the ibuprofen nonsteroidals until the point that they affected my kidneys. And then I had no choice but to come off of it. And because of that, my pain levels went up, and therefore my pain medication use went up until I was introduced to this, and it's been an absolute game changer. Now, the Revive has, again, liposomal delivered, so it's highly absorbed, curcumin and turmeric. This is probably the least absorbed of all of our products, and it is still at a 30% absorption rate, which is 3 times the standard product delivery. Now, this supports healthy joints, post-exercise recovery. It has boswellia to help stiffness of the muscles. It has black cumin seed oil, shiitake mushroom, sea buckthorn, acai fruit extract, grape seed extract, and piperine and menthol, okay, to help the muscles as well. Now, this has 293% increase in GLP-1. Again, no injections. It has a 430% increase in the brain-derived neurotropic factor, and it has a 123% decrease in the IL-6, which is your inflammatory marker. So we want that to obviously decrease, and it does. So it helps healthy inflammatory response. It helps the brain cognitive function, and it helps to balance sugar and insulin levels. Lori, I believe we have another great testimony.
We sure do. Before we jump to our testimonial, Doc Brett, if you don't mind me asking, if you don't mind just sharing, I see a few people in the chat, and I know they're wondering, well, how many do you take, or how many can I take, or can I take it more than once? And I'll just say one thing from me personally, and then I'm going to turn it over to the expert, which is Doc Brett. You guys, these are all natural products. I don't see how they're going to hurt you, but again, I'll leave that to Doc Brett. But you guys, if something's bothering me, whatever the jar says is homeostasis, like you're doing pretty good. If you're hurting, take more. If I'm really hurting, I'm going to take more. And if it helps me and I go, okay, now a few hours later, I'm hurting again, I'm going to take more again, because I know it works, and I want the inflammation to go down. So again, I'm going to turn it over to the expert. I know every body is different. Every person's story is different, but correct me if I'm wrong, Doc Brett, these are just natural products, and I mean, I don't
Correct.
think you can hurt
They
yourself.
all of these products are plant-based. Now, we always tell people, especially if they're on medications, to speak with your physician. The great thing about it is you can go to your physician and say, I'm thinking about taking this product that I heard about. Can you take a look and let me know what you think? And you can let them know. They can go to the PDR, which is the physician's digital reference, and they can look up all of the products, which you can watch your doctor's eyes go bug-eyed, because it is extremely unusual for a non-pharmaceutical product to be in the PDR. Well, thanks to Dr. Gubler, ours are. And as we come out with new products, they will soon follow behind those that are already there. Now, because these are plant-based, unless your doctor tells you to avoid a specific food, most commonly, it's going to be blood thinner type medications. So we have, especially within the Revive, some excuse me, ingredients that can potentially thin the blood, and therefore there might be a precaution there. But barring specific disorders, there's no overdosing on these products. So if you've got a bad day, like I sometimes have, I can take 2, 4, 6, 8 of the Revive in a day if it's needed to get over a hump, so to speak. So, yes, these are all natural plant-based products. So unless you've been told to avoid a specific food, go for it.
Thank you for clarifying that, Doc Brett. Like I said, I know there was some people asking in the chat. We appreciate that very much. And I'm going to turn it over to Brandy. Welcome, Brandy.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Brandy Price, and I'm zooming in from Salt Lake City tonight. My testimonial about Revive. When I started taking it, I noticed it in my knees. I've struggled close to 20 years with knee issues. I ran track in high school. I was in a car accident when I was in high school. And for many years, just walking with, long distances and overexertion, I really notice and have some inflammation and struggle with the pain. I went through physical therapy for probably close to 2 years, almost on a weekly basis. Finally got to a point where my pain was manageable, but I still really struggled without fail in 2 scenarios, either sitting in a movie theater where you're just in that confined space and it gets cold, or similar to that on an airplane, same confined space and it's cold. And trying to get up out of my seat and either walk down the aisle out of the movie theater or off the plane, it would always take me a few minutes. And in a theater, I would have to hang on to the railing very tight because I was afraid I would fall, trying to get down the stairs. Well, after I had started taking Revive, my husband and I went to a movie, and not even thinking about it, I got up and I walked out of the movie theater, no problem. And it didn't hit me until I got out into the parking lot that what I had just done. I didn't have any issues. I didn't have to hold the railing. And my knee pain has basically subsided. Every now and then if I overexert myself a little bit, I'll notice that it's just uncomfortable, but it's something I've struggled with for so many years, and to now just not even really have to think about it has been really awesome. So that's my testimonial on Revive.
Thank you very much, Brandy, for your testimony. And we'll go on to our next product, Lori.
Okay, our next product is Purify, and this is a gentle detox, and I'm gonna highlight the word gentle. It's a very gentle detox. I know people hear detox, Doc Brett, and they're like, oh my goodness, I'm gonna be stuck in the restroom. I can't wear white pants. I'm gonna go through a ton of toilet. I mean, these are all the things people are thinking, right? I'm gonna highlight it again, gentle detox, and it's gonna help to detox your liver, your lungs, your colon, your kidneys, and your skin. I get so passionate about this, Doc Brett, because I know that we're exposed to toxins every day, all day long, whether it's in the water we're drinking, the food we're eating, the air we're breathing, the clothes we're wearing, the makeup we're putting on, the deodorant we're putting, I mean, you name it, toxins are everywhere. I know that the bottle calls for 1 a day. I'll tell you guys right now, I take 2 every single night. I take 2 before I go to bed because I want to eliminate as many toxins as I can. And like I said, I know we're inundated all over the place with them. I just think it's really important for me personally. So I love this product. I love the word gentle. I think it's just a really beautiful product. So back to you, Doc Brett.
Thank you very much, Lori. And yes, this is a product that, unlike most cleanses out there that basically are only colon cleanses, this product detoxifies the 5 major organ systems of the body. And this is one of the most highly absorbed products that we have, and that's at 88%. So it's almost 9 times the standard, okay? And this, as you can see, has green capsules. Those capsules themselves are chlorophyllin. So the capsules themselves also help remove toxins from the body. Now these capsules contain fulvic acid, which gets rid of heavy metals, mercury and aluminum, which are neurotoxic. It has liposomal delivered milk thistle, and milk thistle, standard milk thistle by itself is very poorly absorbed. And that is great for detoxifying the liver. There are herbs which help detoxify the kidneys. There's kelp and apple pectin that help detoxify the colon. There's coriander and coriander leaf and dandelion root, and this increases nutrient absorption and helps support a healthy weight. It also helps get rid of metabolites and gets rid of impurities. So I think we have another, and it also increases the function of the mitochondria. So I think we have another great testimony.
We sure do. And not only do we have a great testimonial, but this gentleman is wearing a fantastic shirt to share it in. So I'm going to welcome my friend Kevin.
I appreciate it. So I'm Kevin from Post Falls, Idaho. I've struggled with IBS for a lot of years. And over the last couple of years, I've been taking Purify and really, really noticed the difference with my regularity and condition of the stool. So it's really helped me a lot with that. Just my digestion in general is better. I feel like I absorb the nutrients in my food better, as well as obviously from some of the other supplements. But I've heard of other people that take it, it clears up skin rashes, other skin conditions and things like that. So yeah, this is definitely one that should be in somebody's arsenal.
Thank you very much, Kevin, for your testimony. Lori, I guess we can go on to our next product.
We sure can. Before can I just ask a question, Dr. Brett? I have heard it said that, if someone is trying to lose weight, again, correct me if I'm wrong, our fat cells, they hold toxins. And if we, can detox those, it's also, I've just had a lot of people say to me, I notice my stomach got slimmer. Now, I'm not saying they ever said they had washboard abs, you guys. It's not what I'm saying, but I've heard a lot of people say their midsection went down. And like I said, correct me if I'm wrong, Doc Brett, but something with our fat cells and getting some of that out helps to.
Yeah, a lot of the toxins are absorbed and held onto by the fat cells. And if the fat cells are holding on to the toxins, it becomes almost like a protective mechanism for the fat cells, so they don't get broken down. By using the our detoxification product, gets rid of the toxins and makes the fat cells more accessible to be broken down.
That is awesome. So good. So good. Okay. Immune. It's just that, you guys, this is going to help support your immune system so that you can have that added help to that immune system. I think people, realized a couple of years ago how important it is to boost our immune system as we can. We're constantly coming into contact with different things. I know I like to take 2 immune every single day. But when Greg or I travel, which we travel quite frequently, you're going to be on an airplane, you're going to be in hotels, you're going to be in elevators, and all these 5,000 people touching everything. We boost up our immune when we travel. So back to you, Doc Brett.
Thank you very much, Lori. And yes, our immune product is another phenomenal product. This is absorbed to the tune of 44%. So again, it's more than 4 times normal standard absorption. Now, this product is both micronized and hydrolyzed, so it's very highly absorbable. Now, this we have both what we call an innate immune system and an adaptive immune system. The innate immune system is what we're born with. That's always on guard. And then the adaptive immune system fights off specific offenders. So as we get exposed to different disease processes, our adaptive immunity kicks in and builds up antibodies to fight those substances off. Now, we have elderberry, vitamin D3, vitamin E, calcium, and aloe vera, as well as vitamin C and zinc, which help with the innate immunity. And then we have trace minerals that are adaptogenic, vitamin A, selenium, which help the adaptive immunity. And this supports the healthy immune response, and it also enhances the gut microbiome. Now, in addition, we have liposomal delivered quercetin. Now, this product helps stop the bacteria from communicating with each other. When the bacteria are isolated from each other, they cannot replicate and duplicate, and therefore they are easily destroyed. So I utilize this, as you do, quite heavily if I'm not feeling well in the slightest, if I'm going to be going to a party or I'm going someplace that has a greater chance and risk of picking something up, I will increase my immune. Glory, I believe we've got a good testimony.
We sure do. I'm going to turn over to my friend Leslie. Welcome.
Hey, thanks for having me. Yes. Oh my gosh, I love immune. And in the beginning, there were so many things to get excited about that immune didn't sound that interesting to me because I'm a health coach, so I don't tend to get sick. I eat healthy. I didn't used to sleep the right amount, but once I went through school and realized that that really is actually important, it's not a joke. I got better on that. I exercise well, but with some things going on in my immediate family this last couple of years, I've gone through a lot of stress, and stress will affect your immune system. And I love how Dr. Dan always says the best offense is a good defense. And I use immune as my defense system. And So whether you're, whether you're worried about your diet and your exercise and your sleep, or your stress and anxiety levels and things that are just going on, it's really good to keep it in mind. And for me, a couple of things have happened, both good and bad. One, I've had a couple of friends and family that have traveled without immune because they're fine. I do okay. And they've gotten so sick. And one gal says to me, well, I always get a cold when I travel and I'm on planes or I'm in rooms with lots of people, but I always know that cold it'll run its course for 3 weeks. And the minute she said that, I'm like, oh my gosh, you remember, Lori, a couple of years back when I had I shipped the immune to the address where I was not going to be, and I was 3 weeks up north, and I ran out. Well, it happened to be Black Friday. Girlfriend wanted me to go shopping. I was around a bunch of people and handling things and, ugh, and tried to keep my hands washed. But long story short, got sick, got the fever, 102.5. The throat got bad, and I was down for the count. Thankfully, 2 days laid down and then got in my car, and it was time to go back home. When I got home, of course, I went straight to the house, picked up the immune, popped 2, and then that evening popped 2 more, and the next morning popped 2 more. And by that afternoon, my 102.5 was down to 99. And the day after that, the throat and the cold and all the symptoms, including the fever, were gone. So I thought to myself, 3 weeks, shoot, I was upset that it took me 3 days because I was chasing the back of the bus. When you start trying to remedy something, so that proves the point of being proactive and using this as a good defense. And because I stay on it 2 a day all the time, and like both of you, Doc Brett and Lori, if I start feeling any kind of anything, or if I'm traveling, I will go ahead and double down. I'll do 2 in the morning, 2 at night, and I'll do that a couple days before I hit the plane. Through the plane and the travel time, stay on 2 morning, 2 night. And when I come home, I'll do 2 morning, 2 night for an extra 2 or 3 days. And I just don't get sick. Now, all that said, Lori knows I got shingles in January. I was so stressed, and it was the stress came to and I started losing sleep. So I was getting ready to travel. It was my 70th birthday, and I was going on a big cruise for a week, and it was so fun. And 36 hours before the cruise, and it was on my face. So I didn't know what it was, but I doubled down on the immune, got the doctor's appointment, and I don't normally see a doctor. So I had to find one, and I went in and love her. I will say she's a delight. We'll be talking to her. She's very impressed because she said, I would normally say you have shingles, but I'm puzzled by how well you're doing. And literally, I said, well, here's what I'm doing. And I was putting stuff on them from the outside in and taking stuff from the inside out. And I told her what it was, and she looked it up in the PDR. And then she chased me to the counter and she said, Leslie, I want you to stay on. What you're taking is, I've never seen anything like it. And I would absolutely make sure that you stay on that. So the immune is phenomenal. Love, love, love it. And I'd like to go on, but you have something else you might want to talk about.
Thank you very much, Leslie, for that great testimony. Okay, Lori, let's go on to our next great product.
Okay, our next product is called Eternal, and this also comes in this little sachet pack, and you can keep it on the counter, you can keep it in your pantry. I personally like to keep it in the fridge. That's not necessary. I like it chilled, but I can tell you this, I shake it up and I love the taste of this. This is one of my favorite drinks. Not only is it good for us, to me, it's just a healthy snack. I love taking it as, I know sometimes my husband Greg's like, how many of those do you take a day? I'm like, I just love them and they're a healthy snack. So, I mean, I probably honestly take 3 or 4. Maybe sometimes more. I like it. And I know it's not going to hurt me. It makes me feel really good, but it's a super antioxidant. It's got the resveratrol and the glutathione. And I know you're going to hit on that, Doc Brett, but wow, for us to be able to get that. And then this absorption rate is absolutely crazy. I mean, we could go on and on about this product. I'm going to turn it back to you.
Thank you very much, Lori. Yes, Eternal is one of our really great products. This product is probably the highest absorption at 95% absorbed. So it's almost it's 9.5 times standard delivery. Now, like Lori said, this has glutathione, which is one of the strongest scavengers of the body. And this is, the body starts dropping off its production of glutathione at an early age. And glutathione is very poorly absorbed unless it has an advanced delivery system, such as we have. This is liposomal delivered. So guess what? We don't need to go for IV glutathione or intramuscular injected glutathione. We could just swallow down the sachet and we get it. Now, this protects and supports the cells from damage. It destroys free radicals. This is the primary antioxidant of the body, and it can be regenerated. There are 10 superfoods and superfruits. Like Lori said, there's resveratrol to the tune of 200 milligrams, which in order to get 200 milligrams of resveratrol, you would have to drink about 200 glasses of red wine. Well, I don't know too many people that can sit down and do 200 glasses of red wine at a sitting. Well, we don't have to do that. You can just take down the pack. Now, there are also phytonutrients to protect against UV damage. There is 1.6 grams of marine-based collagen. So we don't have as much as the collagen in this, but we do have the marine collagen. Now, this has a 1,250% decrease in the IL-6, which is that inflammatory marker. So we get rid of inflammation. There is a 380% increase in the ATP energy producer. Lori, I think we've got a great testimony.
We sure do. I'm going to turn it over to my friend Ray. Welcome.
Well, thanks for having me back. So the story I'm about to share is true. I do have permission from my buddy to share this story. And I have been telling my buddy about the Vitalité and what it's been doing for me. And so he came to a Wellness Wednesday call, heard about all the products. So he ordered multiple things. And the Eternal is one of them. And he is an older gentleman. And as men get older, you know, ED tends to set in for quite a few men. It's a real issue. And so that was the last thing on his radar, though. He was just wanting to feel better because of his age. And so he told me one day when I popped in to visit with him, he says, you know, I took the Eternal last night, and this morning I woke up and there was activity downstairs. And I'll just leave it at that. But he was very surprised. I mean, just shocked that this thing was bringing his body back to life. And so I'll leave it with that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ray. And this is one instance that I will just reiterate that we are not making any guarantees, statements, or anything, that this is a product to treat, cure, or mitigate erectile dysfunction. It is just one specific incidence. And if it works for one, who's to say that it can't work for another? But again, we're not making any statements of cure or mitigation here. Lori, we can go on to our next and last product, I believe, which is our newest phenomenal product.
Yes, I'm so excited, and I see some other excited people. We're wearing the shirts of this new product, and this new product, as Doc Brett mentioned, is called Kinetic. So this is our new product. This is the box that it comes in, very Very bright and fun. I mean, doesn't the box just say energy? Does the box give it away or what? Because this is the little packets. There's little sachet packets in the box, you guys. And they give you a lot of energy. So you're going to take this and you're going to put it in a cup of water or put it into your water. Take a sip of your water bottle first so it doesn't overflow when you put it in. Have had that happen. Then put it in, shake it up, drink it down, and you are going to have clean, let me say that again, clean energy. And I know Doc Brett is going to hit more on that because you guys, do you realize how many people are going to the ER due to Monster energy drinks and Red Bull and all of these crazy heart palpitation? I mean, people have died from these things. It's crazy. So people want that boost, but they don't want all the harmful stuff. So we have a very, very clean product. I would even go as far as saying it's a great pre-workout, not just a pre-workout, but one of the things. And you're going to feel clarity in your mind. You're going to feel energized in your body, and it's also going to hydrate you. It's going to be very hydrating, which is so good for our body and our skin, all of those things. So back to you, Doc Brett.
Thank you very much, Lori. And this Kinetic is a phenomenal product. I know everybody is different, but for me, this kicks in within 10 minutes. I finished a day of work today, and my oldest son wanted to go to a premiere of this movie, and I was ready to take a nap. I drank down a sachet of the Kinetic en route to the movie. And before I even got there, I was wide-eyed and wide awake for the movie, which usually my son has to elbow me in the side and say, "Dad, wake up." He didn't need to do that today. So the other thing with this Kinetic, not everybody's going to be able to do it. I know of a few people that do, but I tend in most cases to just rip the pack open and I take it down like a pixie stick. And then I drink a little water to wash it down. So it can be taken if you don't have water with you, take it down like a pixie stick. Now, this has chock full of an essential vitamin B complex. So this has vitamin B1, B2, B3, 5, 6, 7, which is biotin, and B9, as well as methylated B12. So it is highly absorbed. It is not synthetic B12. This helps support with the L-theanine that is in it, helps support brain function, energy metabolism, and overall vitality. This has an electrolyte blend of 4 essential electrolytes: sodium, potassium, calcium, and magnesium, which help pull water and draw water to them, so it keeps you hydrated. It helps your body absorb fluids more effectively and maintains cellular communication and energizes. There's 200 milligrams of what we call clean natural caffeine, which comes from the green tea extract. Unlike synthetic caffeine, a cup of Starbucks coffee has 260 milligrams of caffeine. This has 200 milligrams. The Starbucks coffee does not have any of the added ingredients to help keep you hydrated. So with the normal coffee, you can get very jittery and have a crash. With this Kinetic, there is no crash. There's no jitteriness. This has grape phenols and rosafins from rhodiola for brain support and a positive mood. This helps prevent and fight adrenal burnout. Now, the adrenal glands are responsible for production of cortisol, and we need cortisol to a degree, but an excessive amount of cortisol leads to stress, and we don't need the stress. There is no taurine, which is in all of the energy drinks that are out there. It used to be touted that this is a great product. However, in a recent study, it has been shown to cause, even in the small amounts that are in the energy drinks, it can potentially lead to leukemia.
Wow.
And we don't need that. There's no sugar, no aspartame, no sucralose, no artificial colors or flavors. And Lori, I think we have another great testimony besides my own.
We sure do. I'm still jaw dropped here at that taurine can potentially lead to leukemia. My jaw just went, oh my word, you guys. Wow. People want clean energy. You guys, you got to let them know we have it. So speaking of letting them know, I'm going to turn it over to my friend Karen.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Karen Bates, and I am in Matthews, North Carolina. And I am going to kind of give a little story time because I went to fill my pill bottle. I traveled this weekend, and I was gone for a while, and I went to fill my pills and realized that I had not taken 4 days of my Vitalité. So I and half of my immune for the day because I tried to double up, but I ended up with a terrible cold. So I have been down and out. So yesterday I woke up with no voice. I had one of the kinetic and my voice came back. And then today I woke up and I just, I was able to take one and my jaw stopped hurting. And then I took another and my nose started draining. So I'm just saying this was my day and my experience because I just feel like I know why I got sick is because I was missing my, I was not following my protocol because I was out of town and things happened and I was on several planes. But yesterday, before the fever kicked in, I did go to a meeting and I gave the BNI, I gave the kinetic to a couple of guys who take energy drinks on a regular basis. And this is the response I got from one. And I then asked them how much they pay for their monster drinks, and they were saying $3 to $5, and this is only $2.33 per sachet. I told them about the taurine, and they just said, we're done. We're signing up. We have a meeting next Tuesday. So it's just they just want to buy a box of this. So this is what we have our hands on is not only is the energy, but since it's clean energy, even though I'm ill, I was able to take it and still get the sleep and the rest that I needed to heal. And so because it's just clean energy. And so it just, but that B vitamin complex, I know I'm very confident. I mean, I'm not a scientist. I'm not a doctor. I'm nothing but a Karen. And I can tell you that that was my experience today, that it was just that much. It was just every time I took it, something got better. So I'm just so grateful. I'm so grateful. So that's my testimony.
Thank you, Karen. And I know from many of the people that are on here that were at the conference and were able to get their hands on the kinetic. We've had the same type of results. Again, we're not going to make any guarantees, but I think we're all going to hear positive results from just about everybody that takes it. Lori, I'll turn it back to you.
Well, I have to thank you so much, Doc Brett. Everything you shared was so valuable, so important, and so easily shared. Like the way you share is just so easy to understand. And I just can't thank you enough for taking time out of your day to share all of your knowledge and to, express the importance of these products and the ingredients in them and the absorption rates within them. I mean, it's just such valuable information. And to each testimonial, to everyone who shared tonight, we had Ray and Judy and Brandy and Kevin and Leslie and Karen. I have to thank each of you for sharing from your heart, for being honest. There's never any TMI on these Zooms, never, because if it can help one person, it can help hundreds of people. And that's what we're about, is about helping people. I love the testimonials that I hear on these Zooms, that get texted to me, that get emailed to me. Like it fills me. It is just, I can't even tell you the joy I get to know that these products are helping people. And Doc Brett mentioned earlier, these products are in the PDR, the physician's desk reference, all of them, you guys. These products aren't on trial. And how many times have you heard, Doc Brett? I've heard this so many times. Well, yeah, I say, are your products tested? Oh yeah, they're tested. They're in-house tested. In-house tested? Am I supposed to be impressed with that? Ours are third-party tested. That's outside of house. That's non-biased. So our products aren't on trial, you guys. We have the science backing them. We have all those, medical data that people can look at. We're in the PDR because we're third-party tested. Don't tell me about your in-house test. That's not impressive, guys. Third-party tested outside of the house. You guys, again, these products aren't on trial. They work. They're working for people. They're helping person after person after person. We're having testimonial after testimonial after testimonial. So if you would like to get your hands on these products, you're like, man, I got to try that, or I got to try all of them, or I want to try one of them, whatever it may be, let the person know who invited you on the Zoom. I would like to try those products. And they're going to ask you a question. Would you like to try them at retail price, or would you like to try them at wholesale price? For me, I want to try it at wholesale price, right? Why would you pay retail when you can pay wholesale? Completely up to you. And to pay wholesale, guess what? It's just like a Costco membership. Anyone have a Costco membership, Sam's Club membership? Okay, I do too. So for wholesale pricing, you pay $30 once a year and you get the products at wholesale price for the rest of the year. So if that interests you, let the person know, again, who invited you on the Zoom. Yes, I'm interested. And if you're like, you know what? Not only am I excited about trying these products for my own body, because I do want to age gracefully as well. I don't want to have a bunch of prescription things in my medicine cabinet. I do think, me personally, Big Pharma is getting out of hand. I get tired of seeing these. I don't know how these commercials ever started on TV personally. I remember years ago, there was no such thing as seeing drugs in a commercial on TV. It was just Coke and Pepsi and things like that. Maybe that's a drug too, caffeine. I don't know. But we didn't used to see these things on TV saying upset stomach, diarrhea, dizziness. I'm like, holy heck. You guys, I am tired of all that. And I think a lot of people are. Wellness is a movement. People want to be healthy. People want to feel good. If you know other people like that and you're like, no, I'm not going to keep this to myself. I want to share with others. I want to let other people know about this. Maybe not only do you want to be a customer, you want to be a customer getter. And you're thinking, gosh, a customer getter sounds great too. I can help a lot of people. You can help a lot of people. And in the process, you could make a side bit of income if you wanted. You know what? If you want to have a plan B for retirement, maybe you just want to earn enough money to get your products for free. You can create a side income sharing products. So you can be a customer or you can be a customer getter. If that's something that interests you, maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. If it's something that does, guess what? Tomorrow night, there's going to be a gentleman. In fact, that gentleman is my husband, and he's going to be sharing how you can not only be a customer, but be a customer getter and get these products for free because you make a little money on the side. What if making a little bit of money turns into a little more money and a little more money and turns into a lot of money because you're helping so many people? And you're having testimonial after testimony, and people are like, hey, I want to try that. Hey, you guys, I was at the DMV today. Guess what the guy at the DMV got? I see him having a drink in a water bottle and it had some limes in it. Asked him about his drink and I'm like, oh, you got to try this. And you know what? He was so thankful to me. He's like, thank you so much. He goes, I am so excited about this. I mean, that's all I did is give him a stick of clean energy. People want to feel good and they're realizing Big Pharma's out of hand. So you guys, I want to thank each and every one of you for jumping on here tonight. I want to wish you health, great health, and a lot of happiness. Have a great rest of your evening. Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.